Jacobs. This video is an introduction to all the things we do here. Farmers live by the seasons, and I started to organize this by seasons, but I realized there is so much more going on that I can't classify as just seasonal. So I'll take you through seasons, but include a lot more random bits. I hope you'll stay with us through the whole 30 minutes because you'll see a variety of subjects, some in still photos and some in video, and finish of a video walkthrough through the farm shop. As a teaser, I'm starting with this lamb video. You'll see more lambs later on in the presentation. Breeding season is October. This year we used 6 rams. Tamarisk ended up with about 25 ewes in his group, but he bred about 5 or 6 of them the first day. This is a young ram named Axis, and he had 5 or 6 ewes. Rambler wore himself out with his dozen ewes, and so did Peyton, the BFL ram. Oh, they think I fed them. They didn't. They're supposed to come out here. Come on, girls. Come on, sheep. Well, they were already out once this morning, so they're not that interested. Hey, Hazel. Come here. Hazel, what you doing? Yeah, good girl. This one always ready for scratches. Still have a ram here, but he's going to leave in a few days. Hazel, you want scratches again? There you go. Yeah. They're not all pets, but some certainly are. We use those white net fences to block off areas to direct the sheep to the paddocks where we want them. We use practices called intensive grazing management to choose on our 10 acres, which is 6.5 acres of pasture, which strip we want them to graze at any one time. This part is split into 8 sections with these cross fences. This is called a New Zealand spider fence. It's actually put up without lots of tension, and I can step on it with my rubber boots. Let's see if I can show that, and hold it down if I want to walk across there. It doesn't have a lot of tension, so it doesn't need strong cross bracing. It has springs at the ends that keep what tension we need, and my sheep are pretty well trained at this point, and they don't ever challenge the electric fence as long as it's charging. This is Hazel's mom. She is the biggest pet sheep here. Not biggest in size, but the most of a pet. She will come up, she would like snacks, but she's happy to come up and just get petted and not need any snacks at all. And I can have a field trip of kindergartners out here and just open up the gate, let her out with them, and you'll have a dozen kids clamoring around her and poking and prodding and touching, and she's just fine with it. This is, yeah, there's her daughter Hazel, Jade and Hazel. I only have one hand right now, guys. Can't pet you both at the same time. You might have noticed the green marks. Some of these have green, most of them do. Some of it's washed off in the rain. Some have red. The rams wear a marking harness, which I'll find him later. You can see his harness. So that I can put down a date when I think that ewe is bred. Of course, I can also just watch, because the ewes that are in heat will hang around the ram, and it's very obvious who would like to be with the ram for a few days and who the ram is with. But I can't keep track of all of them, so by having the markers, I can come out and see which new ones are marked each day. And then at 2 weeks, we change the color, and so everything that's green here was bred in the first 2 weeks, and then the red ones were the next 2 weeks, and there's not very many of them, which is what I'd like to see, because that means our lambing season is consolidated into a pretty pretty compact time. So there's the big guy. And I've had him for 2 seasons, and I debated, he's a really nice looking ram, so I debated keeping him for another, but I have somebody who'd like to buy him, and I don't have enough property to keep a dozen rams, so. All right, all the ewes, including the lambs, are together now, the ewe lambs. They don't look much like lambs. And the rams are all where they need to go. There's 2 goats out here, in case you wondered about that. The green marks, and most of these were green, some wore off in the rain. The green marks are the first 2 weeks of breeding, and the red marks are the second. So got a lot of sheep due to lamb in the first 2 weeks of lambing. Jade, one of the pets. Starting Farm Club is the smartest thing I ever did. People join Farm Club because they love using wool and they want to learn about raising sheep and running a small farm. They help me out while getting hands-on and behind-the-scenes sheep experience, and many members have developed close bonds and become fast friends. We shear in late January or early February, and before shearing day, some Farm Club members come to check out the fleeces on the hoof and reserve a special one. It makes it hard to choose when they all seem so special. Farm Club members are an important part of making shearing day go smoothly. They help with all the tasks. Before the pandemic, we invited the fiber community to shearing day and hope to be able to do that again soon. People love to be able to choose their fleeces and learn about skirting. I've included a couple of videos here from lambing season. I'm blanking on her name. Don't come to me. And that is Sonata. This is Vanessa, who should be having a second. There's Vanessa's too. Alright, she just popped out another one. Makes sense because they're small. Alright, she just lambed 2. There's the little triplets. These were earlier this morning. And this is Dilly, who is not a first-time mom, but she's only 2. At the end, I'm going to bring her in. And Terry's right in there. And this is Shenandoah, who's got lamb too. Got this little guy poking around for a bottle. Sure that one's I went in to get something to eat, and there's a problem in dry lambing. That lamb got between the fence and the 2 fences and got stuck. triplets have all nursed. Okay, just moved Shenandoah's over here, and that's Dilly from earlier. We are in overflow mode. Those are panels from the truck to make a new pen. I felt a head and no feet, so I'm going to check it and see if I can push it back. So I ended up pulling these. I felt a nose, I think, no feet, so I pushed it back. Thought I got the feet. I think I ended up with the hind feet of one of them. I pushed them all back again and found the head of one and its feet and got it out. The other one came out, hind feet first. But they're both okay now. The Timm Ranch is where I get some of the fiber that I sell. Before pandemic times, I offered field trips. I spend a couple of hours showing off the farm and the sheep, and the field trip will depend on what's going on that day and that season. Do you remember what I told you about Jade being such a friendly sheep? Farm club members also help me on field trip days. I like to attend a handful of fiber shows, and Farm Club is right there with me. Black Sheep Gathering in Oregon is one of our favorites. We enter the Spinner's Lead contest and Sheep to Shawl, and Farm Club members help me show sheep. The California State Fair is another important show for me, and Farm Club members are an important part of Meridian Jacobs winning the prestigious marketing award. Lambtown is our own local fiber festival, virtual the last couple of years. I teach weaving and spinning classes here at the farm, and I also present guild programs. There are virtual presentations listed on my website. Most of these weaving students had no weaving experience before their 2-day class. I have only touched on the products that I create here at the farm. I make buttons, and I dye yarn using the plants that I grow. These include weld, coreopsis, hollyhock, madder, weeping willow, and black walnut. Weaving is my favorite craft pastime. I weave using my own hand-spun yarn. This is another V shawl, like I showed you before. And I also use my wool that has been spun at the local mills. Blankets are my favorites. The next video will take you on a tour through my shop. I'm heading to the shop from the barn. So when Farm Club is here or students, we have plenty of room under the trees for eating lunch outside and watching sheep when they're out in that field. So we come here. Okay, wait, I better show you the sign. Here's the shop. I have just spent a long time trying to clean up. This is pretty much as good as it gets. I'm going to introduce you to a few things in here. When we have a class, I have to move all that stuff in the middle out of the way so I can fit people in here. But I really only I can have 3 or 4 people at a time on looms. And that's really the best number for teaching a class anyway. All right, I mentioned this, I think, maybe spinning equipment, tools, spinning wheels, a variety of gift type items, my photographs. I also do some eco prints. We'll get to the yarn in a minute. I do have books. I sort of decided to not carry books anymore because you can get them cheaper from Amazon. But I like books and I like having them around. And since I do teach weaving, you know, people need to have a recommendation of what weaving book to get. So I do carry books in person here. And we'll walk around over here. Well, more gift type items. This is relating to wool because it's needle felting. So I have the needle felting kits from Wool Pets, which I really like. They're so cute. And there's a bird getting stuck behind a shelf. So I do sell those. Some of their fiber also. They sell fiber in little bags like that with all the different colors. I sell, here's some more equipment for spinners and weavers, and the Unicorn fiber wash and power scour. All right, let's move over this way. Fiber. Lots of fiber, lots of Jacob fiber. This is from 2021, spun at 2 local mills. This one was carded at our local Valley Oak mill, and this is the Mendocino woolen mill. And that's what I have left of Jacob fiber for this year, besides fleeces in the barn, a few fleeces. All right, weaving equipment, weaving supplies. That's the really cute little Ashford Katy loom. I love that little loom. Warping frames, buttons. I have a variety of buttons that I've chosen because I kind of like them. Oh, here's some more books. These are actually locally written books. One is written by my good friend and Farm Club member, Stephanie Wilkes. That's this one. My brother, who works with ranchers, wrote this one. And Rebecca Burgess of Fibershed wrote this one. Okay, I have here's the small looms over here. Mostly, well, Shacton Ashford equipment, so the Cricket loom and the Knitter's loom and the Sample It, the Zoom loom. So I carry those here in the shop, and I usually have works on some of these looms so people can try them out. All right, I often don't have a place to put my own woven things, and I'm trying to figure out which ones to put online, which ones to have at the store where I sell in Davis. This is the latest selection of blankets that I just finished. This is all the Timm Ranch wool warp, which is on my website, and a variety of wefts. These are all Fibershed appropriate, meaning that they are all locally produced wool and locally dyed. I've grew the plants to dye these and dyed them myself. These are probably obviously not natural dyes, but they're still really great blankets. So there's some of the blankets and more of my woven things here. Most of this is the Jacob yarn, but I also do some chenille. That's what that is. More Jacob yarn. These are hand spun shawls. I learned and then went further with the V-shawl design, which is what this is. If you see the back of that, you see that there's a very cool pattern in the back. And I've actually done a class. I did a class for our local fiber show, which went virtual. I did a virtual class in that. I condensed a 2-day in-person workshop down to 3 hours, so I can offer either now. I have done that for guilds in the past and gone off-site to do a V-shawl class. While I'm at it, I'll talk more about, there's more V-shawls right here. Hard to see like this. There's some cotton ones using naturally colored American-grown cotton, some wool ones. Let's go back around this way. Oh, while I'm over on this side, sheepskins. I've sold out of everything I had last year, and I just got these back, and I sold about half of the ones. And those are obviously not Jacob sheep. Those are from my friend down the road with her naturally colored sheep. I did have some Jacob spotted sheepskins. Those are all gone now, but I have more out at tanneries waiting to get them back. All right, we're gonna go back around this way. More weaving. There's another V-shawl, which is got that cool shape on the back. I'll put some pictures in with this so you can see. All right, I carry Lunatic Fringe yarns. They have all these beautiful colors in GAMP kits and other other kits. And the Ashford yarn, which is all in bags down there so I can keep track of what I have, but here's a variety of some of the colors. So those are really nice wool yarns, and that is what is in some of the blankets that I showed you a few minutes ago. But what I really focus on and specialize in are my own yarns. Okay, so my own meaning Solano County. The Timm Ranch is about 10 miles from here, and I've shown you a video of the shearing at the Timm Ranch and collecting out wool. These are skeins, 1 ounce skeins that I did, and then I've dyed with dahlia and coreopsis and madder that I grow, black walnut. And okay, come around this way. There's all that shelf of yarns. And here are my Jacob yarns up here in the natural colors. I have a lot more than that, but I only have that much on the shelves. The rest are in some boxes and need labeling. And the ones with the natural dyes are generally the Timm Ranch yarns. Down below that is the Lunatic Fringe American Made series, which are the natural colored cottons, US grown and processed. And I have that mostly in 3-2 cotton because that works great for my classes, but I have some of their kits also. All right, the looms I use for classes are the shacked wolf looms, which are pretty much, which I really love too. That's they're the best ones for classes, and I have a couple rented out right now. Usually I have 4 in here. That's the wolf pup that's folded up and the baby wolf that is down. And dare I show you what's behind that curtain? I don't think I do. Maybe we take a brief look. It's getting dark for one thing. But this is where I mainly work, is back here. And to clean up the rest of the shop, I finally used the method of put it all somewhere else. So, which I will regret tomorrow. So, but that's the big loom I work on. I have a shacked loom in the middle. So that's the messy area, and this looks a lot better right now. So this is my workshop, and when I do field trips, I bring people in here to show after we've spent a lot of time out there with the sheep. We do the classes in here. I have a spinners. I used to have a spinners night out and a spinners day out, and we could meet in here, move all these tables away and have spinners in here. That was before the pandemic, and I hope to be able to do that again. And I hope that you might be able to get, if you're in California, you look me up, and if not, look me up at meridianjacobs.com. What follows is a short video I put together for another time, and it's sort of a recap with some new photos.